All right. So let's start the class. Good afternoon, guys. So today we'll be looking at responsive variables design. How to make it responsive with variable as quick as possible. Let's jump into it. We are behind schedule. So first of all, I'll always recommend to carry each section as a component. All right. So I'm going to detach this from this since this is not. Then I'm going to create a new component. All right. So let me replace. So over here we need a menu. I'm just going to get a menu and then add it anywhere on the design. Remember, previously we had created a variables or some variables that will be needed, but as we proceed, we'll continue updating those variables. All right, so we are going to apply a variable to this, and we are going to, okay, let's pick up this. So we don't want this to show in our mobile responsive. So we are going to apply the variable show menu item. That's what we called it. Then this, we don't also want it. So we are going to apply show menu, show button. Then this, we are also going to apply show menu item, menu icon. All right, menu icon is not going to show on the tab on the desktop, so that's why it has gone out. Then logo, we don't need anything for that. Logo always have to show. Avoid any decimal points while designing. So anytime you are designing, try to switch from one decimal point or another. All right, so let's use this. Okay, thereafter we are done. So I'm just going to apply most of the stuff you created here. So on this section, just going to apply it here. Initially, we would have just, what we would have done is to um, create a component of each, but there are components already in a particular, but let's just use this. So I'm just going to change the black here. The black here is this icon, right? Let me confirm that. Yeah, so let's change it since this other one is also carrying black. So let's change it for the icon first. So here we are going to use icon code where which we already did. So this is for surface. No, we don't need it. Hold on. Okay. So this is for icon. Let me see something. All variables. No. So we need to change something. So I need to go back to my variables and then on my map, going to where we have all icons. Let me expand this. Then I'm just going to work something, edit variables. So over here, I only have it for shapes. So I need it for frames too, because that is a frame. All right. So let's go back there. So if I go back here, I should see my surface and I should see for icon too. So here I'm going to call it primary. Then here I'm just going to change the black here to text. Text primary. Then here is going to be that surface on action. And then the white is going to change to text on action too. Then let's do that the same thing with our button here. So for our button, we are going to rename this to be surface action, and our white is going to be text white. Then think we're almost done. So apply surface to this. Okay, so thereafter the next thing to do is to take your As I said earlier, prefer you working with components. So I'm just going to extract this, take this out. But in the meantime, let me bring in our tablets frame. So I'm just going to drop this here, change the frame to tablet. I always recommend this tablet. And just going to duplicate this again and change this to phone, like using iPhone 13 mini. All right, so I'm just going to drop it side by side. This is to help me when I want to calculate some things that needs to be done. Remember, when you are doing it for the first time, it's going to be a little bit stressful and it's going to take time. So I'm just going to convert this to component by right clicking, then convert to component, which I've done that already. So let's see. All right, so thereafter, I'm just going to apply my font variables to each of these. So I'm just going to change this. So I'll be using the large 70 and change this to its own font title. Then remember the color. So this is a text. So I'll be using my text primary. Then I'll do the same thing to this. I'm going to change it to text. I'll use text secondary since it's a description of this, it's not the main. Then I'm going to remove this, change this to my body, then change this to um, font body large. Then this was not a component, but no problem. So we're just going to do it manually. So I'm just going to detach this. This is a body, so I'm just going to change it to body. Okay, going to remove this. This should be medium. Oh, that reminds me. Let's use medium here. Then I'm still going to change this to surface action. Then this is our icon. So we'll go to where we have our icon. Then that will be on action. Right. Then we'll go to where we have our stroke. Right. Which we call border. So border here is going to be action hover, because we want it deep. Or let's take on action for it. That means I'll have to change my text here to action too. Let's see. Let's just use that for now. I'm supposed to use a blue color there. So let's see. What have we linked all of them to it? So now we have this here. Let's see what is it doing. Where is it coming in from? Where is this coming? Just going to remove this. We don't want anything outside to be sure we've linked everything. So we have all of them being linked on. So now we are going to now apply now to each of the screen itself. So here we are going to change it to let's see. I'm going to apply it directly here first. I'm going to apply breakpoints directly here. Then I'm also going to apply a breakpoint here. Also a breakpoint here. I'll have to switch to tablet. I'll apply a breakpoint here, then switch it to mobile. All right, so the next thing I will do here is to this is not a component, is it? It's not. So I'll make it, sorry, it's not an auto layout. So I'll turn it to an auto layout. Then I need it to be centered. Then I'll apply my margin here. Then the next thing I will do is I need a padding top and down, so I'm going to use 64. But do I need it down? No, because of this image I'm using. So I'm just going to remove it, detach it, then let's see. So I only need it for up. So I'm just going to take this, then take this out. Okay, so the next thing we'll do is to check inside. So I'm just going to apply components, a variable, sorry, to this too. So this is 64. So we are going to use our 64 here. And what else do we have? This is 24. We're going to check, do we have, so let's use 32 there. Then same thing here, we have 40. So I'm just going to, not auto, sorry. Um, I'm just going to apply. Yeah, let's still use 32. Then that's, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to apply a variable to the whole, or let's see what we've gotten so far. So let's apply our responsiveness desktop to it. So let's say I switch to tablet. What do we have? All right, so this is because this is not, oh, I didn't replace it. So whatever we've done has not come in there. So I'm just going to copy and replace. Then if we switch over, we are going to have this because I have not assigned the width variable to this frame here. So if I do that, if I go ahead to do that here, going to apply, if I do a breakpoint here, it's going to adjust to it. Now I'm going to also apply the same breakpoint to our header here. If I do the same thing, that is also going to work out. All right, so there we have our tablet. And if we move to our mobile, and that is what we will have, which is not what we want. Okay, which is not what we want. So let's take it back to desktop. So on desktop, what I will do here is this has to be down, and well, which it is. And let's see what we have here. So let's see, first of all, let's see something. So I'm just going to duplicate this, then take it to my frame here, because I want it to be on a separate. I want it to be on a separate this. I'm just going to align it. So this is what we have. So if you look at this, our text has reduced in size to what we have, which is let's see, which is 40. Okay, our body has reduced to 16 or 20. Okay, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20. Let's see. Okay, we can use that. So if we look at this, let's see. So why this is happening is because this is not in, let's see, this should be, okay. So we are having this as 126. So it is repeating the same here. You can see we are having this as 126. So that is one of the challenge we are having now. So let me just copy this out. Let me just copy this and then paste it here. Align it, Control A, alternate W. Okay, so, okay, let me bring our, this to. It's going to paste it. Alternate, line, top, line. Then I'm just going to copy this and then come here to paste it, stop, and align. Okay, so we have an issue with our nav bar. So let's see, what is that? What could be the problem here? So let's fix that first. Did we apply it here? No. So we are going to apply this margin here, and that should solve the problem. All right, so that's I've solved the problem. But in the meantime, we'll just allow the logo to be this way. But looking at the logo, it is too big for a mobile. Which let's just work it out then. Let's work it out. So for my logo, let's just do it. I'm just going to detach it from the component itself. Main component. And what I will do here is I'm going to apply a variable to each, the width and the height. Okay. Another way you would have done that is to put in a mid and max, a mid number, but I'll prefer to use this. So we have 143. So let's create a variable for that. So we are still going to use our image, where we have map, not map, responsiveness. So we are going to go to our image. So I'm just going to break this down and then call it logo. Yeah. So then for the logo, we had 140. For the desktop, we have 143. So let me say logo width. I don't think we really need to do something with height. Let me just say logo width. Okay, so then for our tablet, we have 143. So I'm just going to randomly give it a number. So I'll say 143 minus 48. Not really 143. No, that is too small. 120, 143, 125, 130, 130. Then for our mobile, we have let's say 130 divided by 2, 65. Okay, so just going to apply that here. So you have logo width, and then we have logo. Oh, I didn't apply that to this. So let's see. Okay, so we have a little bit of a problem. This has truncates it here. So let's see why that is. So if you look at this logo does not have a breathing space. So what I'll do is to put it inside an auto layout. With that, it's going to allow it to breathe outside. Okay, it's going to give it a margin. So I've given it a margin of an auto layout 8, 8, 8, 8, 8. All right. Then I think we need to reduce it in terms of the height. Okay, we need to reduce it in terms of the height. So let's see if this is still too big. In terms of height, so let's reduce it. So I'm just going to create another variables for height. So under my image, just going to take this down, then call it logo height. Okay, so you can create as much variable as possible to actually make your work responsive. And when you are done with the first page, then other pages will not be a problem because those variable already exist. So your variable can change depending on the type of project you are working on. So at first, setting it up at first is going to take much time, but after which you are going to enjoy using it. So for the height, let me take this out here. So for the height here, we are having 59. So I'm going to apply 59 to it. And for this, I'm going to still make it, let's say 50. Then for this, 50, 48. Let's say 48. Okay, so let's apply that. Did we? Yes, we already did this, but it looks like it was not working. Why? Let's see. Okay, it is. So I'm going to apply logo height to this. So let's look at it. Oh, so it's only working with this. It's not working with the main image itself. Let's see. Interesting. So it's only working with this 143. Let me see this. We're going to take this out. BNW. So let's see what we have. Okay. Convert this to auto layout. Make this 4. They're not giving me what I want. Let's see. Okay. Alignment. I don't need this here. 6. This is in field container. So let's apply our variable to this width and then our height. So that should solve that logo problem. Okay, that's eating into our space here. This is fixed. It should also be fixed. Fixed container, fixed container. So let's see what is going on with our this is 6. Okay. Okay, so I don't think this will actually really work with this because in this it will have to, let's see what we have here. Why am I having this gap here? Okay, so let's just remove that section for now. Or let's just move on. So if we look at we're talking about this. So what we gave it here is 126. So if I remove this, let's say, so you can see that has also worked on our mobile responsive. But is that actually the best way to do this? Then I think we also have something demarcating it here, which is also 126. So if I take it down to 0, sorry, take this down to 0. So that's updated here. But I don't want it to be this large. Okay, I don't want it to be this large. So I'm just going to undo it. Undo. Okay, so the best thing we can actually do here is to now create a container size for this particular text, a variable for it. So I'm just going to call it create a variable. Where are we using it? So text. So I'm going to put it here in this container where we have hero section and what we have. Anyways, I can just take this out to be element. Let me call it element. Nope, content. Let me call it content. Okay, then I'm just going to break this, then call it text. Then we have 126. Then for this, we'll have 126 is still fine for our tablet. If you look at when we did it, for our tablet, it's still looking nice. But let's say we take it, we let it breathe a bit. So let's say our desktop is 126, right? So for our tablet, let's make it 100. So for this, we are going to make it 32, or let's say 24. Let's call it 24. So we are going to apply that to this. So this was already applied. So what we need is this particular section, right? So I'm just going to apply this, right? 128. Is that what we were using? Hold on. Container text. This is what we're looking for. Container text. So that if we want, the reason why I'm naming it this way is so that if we want to actually readjust this, is not going to cause an issue in the future. So we can now know, oh yes, that this is what we want to adjust and not the other one. So let's just take this up and then take this. This should be up. It is up. So why is it? Okay, not this section. Let's take this up. This should, yeah, this should already adjust itself. Did not really need me to. So we can now see, but in this case, if you look at our phone, this image here is too big. Me, I want the image to show in this case. All right. I want the image to show. So what do we do here? So the same way we were trying to apply a variable to the logo, we are going to do the same thing to the image. So I'm just going to click on this image here. This is the frame that, so, but it's the image I want to work on. So I'll apply, let's see, let's create a variable for that. But first we need to know what is the height or what is the size of our this is. So we have 548 here. So you have 548 and 620. 548 and 620. So I'm just going to create a variable for that. I'm going to take it to image. 548. Let me use this other one. No, this is where we want 548, 548, and 620. All right. So for our tablet, we want it to carry. I still need it to be 548. 548 looks okay for our tablet if we look at it. If we look at our tablet, so it's fine. It's still fine with our tablet that way. So you can still maintain it 548 and 620. But for our mobile is going to change. So our mobile frame is 375. So I'm just going to remove the margin, the left and right, which is 16, 16, that's 32. Then thereafter, I'm still going to remove another one again. So I'm going to take it minus 32 again. So this is what we are meant to have. And since we are going to cut it, we are 620 is still fine. We don't really need anything to do with the height. The height, we can truncate it at any point. So now I'm going to apply it to our section here. So I'm just going to apply 548, okay, width, and then 620, our height. Now this has adjusted, but if, as we can see, our phone has moved to the left. And why is that? Let's see the reason. This is a frame, and this is also a frame. So if you look at it, we have set our constraint to left movement. So I'm going to send this to then that should be left and right, top, center. Let's see. Or we can just set this to fill container. Let's see, let's see, let's see. Hold on. This is right. Let's close right. I think we need center for this. Oh, let's see what is happening here. Okay. Our container here, this is it because it's taken on this. So our container here needs to work with us. So how do we do that? Set it to field container. We have to manually adjust this. Hold on. Let's manually adjust this. I think I have to remove it from here. On clip content. Okay, so interesting. Our now image in the mobile is appearing as something that has a disease. So let's see why that is. That would only be because of what we gave it here. So let's see what was our variables for. What was our variable for the mobile? So for image height, oh sorry, width. So we have 3D. So let's see something. I think it's going to shake it because of 375. 620, 400. I think we have bypassed this particular stuff we applied. That's why it's that way. So let's see. Did we bypass it? I think we did. We did bypass it. And this is because of it's affecting all the images. So in this case, what do we do? I'll have to bring in another image. I think we have tampered with that. So at any point you do a mistake, it's going to affect your design. So let me bring in the same image again. Just to hold a minute. Let this come down. Just going to remove background. Okay, so just going to paste to replace. So let's see what we have. Okay, we are still having a problem with this. Why? We gave it what? Why is this still an issue? Let's see what's happening to our inside. Just going to remove this. Let's remove this. Let's see. So we are still having the same issue, but now not that way. This is your container. Let's take this to fix. Let's see something. Okay. So few containers stretched the image. So fixed. So for this fixed, I think a better way to solve this is to create a variable for this, for the container inside. I think that could solve the problem. So let's see. Let's apply a variable to this content. That's what is named content. So we only need it for the width. We don't care about the height. So let's see. Let's apply the same thing here. Let's see. But do I really need to apply it here too? No. I don't need to apply it. This other one is enough for it. And it is in fill, so it should be in fixed container, not fill. So let's apply to our image. So we have 548 and then we have 620, 548, and it's still taking it down. Still taking it towards the other side. Okay, so let's leave it so that it doesn't take our time that much. So let's continue with another. We are going to revisit that again. So the next section we'll be looking at is this other section here. So I'm just going to take this out. But if you look at it, we've already, because of the design now, that's already taken into the space of this. So I'm just going to take this down, take it up by pressing Control, and then this should be in auto layout itself, which I'm going to now take it to the top together. So I'm also going to apply the same thing here. So over here, I'm going to make it a component, rename it, name it section 1. Then we'll apply, I'll be fast now because of time, just apply breakpoint here. Then I'll apply this 88, so I'm going to apply 64. Let me use 64 here. Let me create this 88 variable. I think I'll need it because I've been bypassing that spacing. So where am I? Where do I need it? Padding. So I'm just going to say 88 to 24. 88 to 24 to 16. So let's take a 16. I'm going to use here. Do we have 88 here? No. So I'm going to use 96. I'm going to use 96. Then I'm going to use 64 here. Then I'm going to use 16. Yeah. Is that fine? No, let me use 20. 16 might be too small. So I'm just going to rename this to 96 for consistency. All right, so it's 80. So here we are now going to be using 96 for our top and left margin. So here, make sure when once it is here, but you wrap it because it's going to break. This section is going to break when it comes down because of change of screen size. So it's going to break. So in the meantime, I'm also going to apply fill container to this, then also make it break at this. So I'm just going to apply 72. I'll use 64 here. We do not have anything here, but I need something here. So I'm just going to name it, use a smaller. So yeah, just to make it break. Yeah. So I can then remove this or make it use a smaller one. Can now use this because this already we've applied 32 to here. So making this that much again is going to take much time. Make sure your device or your elements are in fill container such that you don't. So I'm just going to detach this and make this 48. 48 display small. We can allow this to be for now. That will not really challenge us in the long run. So this is 20. Going to apply our 20, which is our font body 20. Okay, think yes, apply this. Think I'm going to skip this particular section because that particular one will not be a challenge to us. This is our surface reversed. And the text there is going to be our text on action. Think, did we apply for this? No. So this is going to be text primary and text secondary. Let's do the same thing here. Text primary. My bad. No, this should be text secondary. Text secondary. And this is going to be text primary. All right. Now that we are done with applying everything we need, so I'm just going to copy it. Hold on. Just going to copy. I think we are done with this. Why is that? Okay, so all the minutes, I think my system is behaving at this point. All right, so now that we are done applying everything we need to this, so I'm just going to make an instance of it and then take it down to where we have this. Then I'm just going to take it up. I need it to be 0, 1, 2. Okay, so the meantime, I think there's something we missed there. This section, we need to apply a page to it. Okay, so let's see. Just going to take this up. Just keep it somewhere here. Take this, keep it somewhere here. Take this, keep it somewhere here. Then, so let's check. Let's switch that. Okay, no. Let me not switch. So let me just readjust this. Take it down, copy this, and then paste it here. Should adjust itself. But we can now see that there is a problem. But the problem is not a problem because the problem we just have now is because of the simple one, because we failed to do the needful, like my work being organized. I'm just going to keep this. All right, so I'm just going to take this down. I was going to paste it here. Okay, so we are having the same issue here. So the problem we are having here is because of field container and yes, just that. So let's see. Here we had field container. So but here I don't want it to be field container. So I want it to be fixed. And since it is fixed, since it is fixed, I'm going to apply a variable to it that I want it at content. Okay. The same thing here. I don't want it to be field container. I want it to be fixed. Then I'll apply the same variable, content variable to it. Then let's see what happens. So it has broken like this. This has worked, this section, but we are still not there yet. So we are done with the top section. So what is happening here is we need this to be field container, not hook. Okay. We need this also to be field container. This is already field, and this is already field container. And this, I will put an auto layout here because I want it also to be field container. So let's see what we have now. So we are almost actively there on this other section, but this what did we use here? It's too small for it, and there's no breathing space for that. And what did we use on a section that demarcates it? So let's see, did we even apply a variable there? No, we did not. So we are going to apply a variable here. So I'm going to use the 128 we created here. And also, let's see, this is aligned to the left, which is going to be a problem with the responsiveness. So I have to align this to the center. This is going to help it in, if I apply this, it's not going to because of where this is. Okay, so if we go back there now, can see that I've solved this other problem. This is getting better now. Interesting. Why is it outside the frame? Hold on. Which one is outside the frame now? Why are you there? Okay, so but now the challenge is this image. So this image is still maintaining the same image size that we have on the desktop. So with that, it's going to suck in the text. Okay, the text will not have a breathing room. So what we do here is to apply a variable to this. So we are having 152 here. So let's see, do we have something related to that? Nope. So we have 458 here, and so this is a perfect square, which let's just make it this. So for our height and our width is going to be the same thing. So I'm going to create a variable. So I'm going to call it still on our image. So let me just on our image. So width. So I'm going to call this section width. So all our section is going to carry the same size. Okay, so section image width. Just going to take this down, section image. Okay, let me undo it. Let me undo that because of the fact that we'll be using the same. So when I'm done, I just have to duplicate it and change the name. So I just have, let me delete this out, change this to, yeah, to width. Then we are having, what did we say, 522, right? Let me confirm that. Yeah, 522. So over here, I'm going to do 522. Let's say 400. Let's use 400 for this. Then over here, we are going to do 375 minus 16, 16, 32 plus 32. We are having 64. So 311 is going to be our height for this. So we are going to go ahead to apply that. So I'm just going to apply this. Wait. Yeah, I think we can still use that. Should let's see. I think we should still use the same one instead of duplicating it. Okay. Interesting. Why? Still 522 here. 522 fix. Is that not a variable? 522. 522. Okay, 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 okay. I think this is going to actually remove it from here. So I need to create another variable for it. Image, image height. So I'm going to apply this to the image height. But still not working. Why is that? It's removing from. Okay. All right. So we had to remove it from log aspect ratio. So this is supposed to be 400 too. Yeah, it was. So I had to remove it. Okay, so I thought I changed that. Where's the variables? So for image, width 522 for 400, 311. Tablet. Tablet is 400 for 400, but it's not. It's the other side is longer than it. This other side is taking 522. Why? Why is that? Let's check our 522. Hmm. Let's see what we have here. Do we have? Does this fuel container with hull fixed? Let's see. 522. Image height. Image section image height. On desktop is 522. Tablet should take 400. But why is it not? Okay, that could only mean one thing. This section. What is this section doing? Section is hawk. Center alignment 312. Let me just do fix here. That means I'm supposed, let me give this height too. You can see on our mobile, it has adapted to the 300. This is 300, 300. Yeah, sorry, 310, 310. Sorry, 100. So I don't know why it is not on this other end. But on our mobile, we can see that this other text did not wrap. This text did not wrap. Mm, this fuel container. But let's see. Variable responsiveness, padding, margin, container, text 126. Let's see. What did we have here? 590. So this is our left container. We have 590. For my this thing, I wouldn't want 590, so that would probably be let's see, let's just do 590 for it. Then over here it's going to be 375. 375 minus, we have 311. Okay. So I'm just going to give it another breathing space, minus 16. So let's say 40. So I'm just going to apply it here. So this will be fixed. And this is going to be apply content left. So we are still having our tablet has said some. I have come and destroyed the code. Okay, let's take it back. There's a better way to do this. 590. On the tablet it's still 590, isn't it? Or did I take it lower than that? Container, tablet, it's still 590. So what happened to it? So let's just remove it, then use field container. So we are back to it on our tablet, but on our mobile, we are still having that challenge, which I think it would have been because of this, but this is being sorted. So let's take this section. Let's use a section out of this. Let me do this separately. Let's see where it's having this issue. Okay, okay, okay. So this is not responsive. And as wish, this is not also going to be responsive. So if we take it down, 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 this is supposed to work, then why is it not? Let's see, fuel. This is fuel. This is fuel. This, let's try something different here. Just going to use fuel container here. Okay. What did we have here? 32. Let's try something else. So we are still having the issue with our responsiveness here. Which should not be so. Let's see. Yeah, so this we've sorted it because this thing was another problem. But this should not break. Still have enough room for it. This should not break because you're having 72 here. right? Spacing here to here is 72. So I'm going to bring in 64 to it. So with that, I should be able to make it stand on the tablet very well, yep, without breaking. So now that we've solved that, so what is this section's problem? All right, please confirm you can hear me now. Sorry about that. Call came in, so those are two. So let's see. So for now, yeah, thank you. So for now, we are still having issues with our mobile responsiveness, and which, as we can see, it is this section. And this section we have field, and there is 9 attached to it. Why? Why is there 9 attached to it? There's where we have mixed up the code. We have mixed up the code some way, which is definitely affecting it. This is field container. What happened? Where is this issue? Let's see. We have this to be 20, which means, hold on. Should we be having 20 there too? Let me apply. Let me apply another variable to this. Let's see. We're having body 20, body 16, and 48, um, 86 should be perfect here. Let's then see what is happening. Oops. Okay. It's almost better in tablet, but in mobile it's still misbehaving. So what the hell is this problem? Let's see. This is should be center aligned. 1 by 2. 1 by 2. No, this is fixed. All container. Let's see why is that this has been applied. This has been applied. This is top aligned. but the center, which does not have any, should not have any problem there. This section is where we are having a problem. Then I think we should now, I'll have to bypass some things here. Let's do it, let's then do it this way then, if it, since it wants to. So I'm going to manually adjust this. This is our tablet size, right? So at 375, 375. So this is what is happening here. So I'm just going to remove this. 375, this is what is happening here. But that's not what we want to happen. Let me just undo this, undo. Let's take it manually now. So this is working, but what's happening here is this is now laying on top, which is supposed to come down. So with that, what is the issue here? Oh, oh, I see. So we are having this to the hook. But nope, that's not still solving my problem. Okay, so let's see. This is hook onto its fuel container, but let it come down. Let's take it, let's put it at the center. And if you can see, since we did fuel container here, this is now having an issue. This is fuel container, but the size here is what is problem. Going to put this in a separate auto layout, put this in a separate auto layout, and then see. Let me remove this. Nope. What did I do here? Fuel hawk. So let's say this is in a separate auto layout now. Fuel container. Fuel container, but this should be this way and this should be this way. The whole container. So this is where we are having this issue from. Fuel container. Fuel container. Fuel container. Why is this going outside? Fuel container. Fuel container, but this is still going outside. Why? Let me detach this and then use auto here. This is an auto layout. So why? What is it? Or is it here? Fill, text space. But in the meantime, let's see what we have here. So I think that is not still working because of some oh, this should not be this. Should be aligned to the no to top. This is down to this is down. This is right. This is right. What do we have here? Why are we having this here? Let's apply 32 to B2. $590. So let's apply this. Content to you. Left content 590. At 590, it should break. And this is my 590. And it's not breaking. Oh, it's few. Fix. Take it down. Not yet, sorry. Take this down. That's broken, but has broken in its own way. Okay, so um this is fantabulous. What did we use here? 64. This particular section is moving outside of this, which would mean this section is not inside this. This is standing on its own. So whatever we apply to this is making its own decisions outside. Let me delete this, duplicate this again, take an instance of it. Exactly. Thus, we're making decisions on its own. Which means as it is this way, so this is taking 140, this is taking 242, sorry. But this way it's going to fill container. Oh, so let me bypass this small. Let me see something. Fill will not work because of the constraint you are using here. Because of what you are using here. 1 to 40. Fill. Let me bypass this. Let's just fill. Let's see what happens. Okay. We're still having a problem with this section. And I don't know why. And I still don't know why. So let me just fill container. That's fill container. So the top section of it is responsive, whereas this section here has refused to add to responsiveness. And this could be because of this. So let's see. Auto. It's not. This is fine. This is fine. This is fine. This section. Where is this? What section was that? So let's see. Let's undo most of these things. But I think we are applying this to it might be what is given, and this is downwards, which is not supposed to be that way. This is align center, but it's supposed to be this way and not this section. And this is because of how this was being designed. This is because of how this was being designed. Okay, so my battery is running low. Okay, let's see another section, because I feel this section, something is wrong with that particular section, and that's because of how it was designed or how the auto layout was being laid. So let's look at this section here. So I've changed it to an auto layout. I'm going to call it borrow that airtime. What's that? Let me just rename the layers from here. Okay, so I apply 100 here. I think that particular section is because of how 96. Responsiveness breakpoint. This let's see. I'll apply the width container 124. Then this is fill. This is fill. This is fill. This is should be fill too. This does not really matter, but let me put it on layout and then make it fill. Nope. Put it in a frame. Selection, change the frame to an auto layout. Fill the frame. This, I'm going to now adapt our 522 width and then a height 5. So I think we are almost done. This has been applied. Where is this 8 from? This 129, which I want 128 there. So I'm just going to copy this and then take it to our frame. Okay, copy to replace. Then you take it up. This even change size. Who even change this? 1440. Let me take this out. It will not confuse me. Enter line, align, yes. So let's switch this. Let's see. Just going to switch it to tablet, which has switched. So I'm just going to take it down here. So this has worked here. So that was a problem of a design. That was a problem of a design. So how you use your auto layout to actually determine how your responsiveness is going to be. If not, it's going to stress the hell out of you. So that was a problem of responsiveness, or sorry, of how that was being designed. And why is that guy doing that way too? Mobile, interesting. So let's see what is happening to our mobile. Not you here. Going to align it, put this, change it to 0, take it out. So let's see what is happening there. Just going to take this yes source so that I can have a better look at it. So this is field container, but I'm going to apply this I did, but why should be, yeah, then I'm going to wrap it down. So that when once it reaches here, it should wrap, but it's not wrapping. Why? This should, yeah. This is this way, but it should wrap at a point, and this should be fuel container. Wrap at the center. This is fuel, this is hawk, this is fuel. So I think we still need this, giving it this text, left text. I need it to be at fixed. But at that instance, it's behaving. I need this to work. Well. Yeah, it should drop here. So why is it not dropping? What size did we give to this section? Container 124, 360. No. 360 was too much. We have 375. Then at 32, that is 32. At 82, which is this section, then 311 should be fine. 311 should be fine. So I think that's where our issue was. It's still not adapting to this section here. Hold on. This is field, this is 124. This is doing what it wants. This is 124. 124 cannot be in a mobile. This should not be what is here in the mobile. This should not be what is there in the mobile. So why is that there? Container content 124, mobile 311. But why is it taking 311? It's taking the position, absolute position of the tablet. It's taking the position of the tablet. Even this is also taking the position of the tablet. So instead of that, 1240. So that let's make it fuel container then. That will solve the problem. Fuel container there is going to solve the problem. But in this case, your text should always come first before the, no matter whether your text is on the right side or on the left hand side. So in every design you do, in a mobile responsiveness, your image should always come below the text. And this is where I think was this in an auto layout? Yes. Was this hawk? No. So this should have been hawk, and that will should manually adjust everything you need there. But the hawk is not aligned well. So then once it is in hawk, it's going to adjust itself to whatever section. Okay, so let's stop there for today. So at any point in time you are making your design, be sure of how you are using your mobile, your auto layout. because using variables work well with how you use your auto layout. If not, you'll be struggling with it. Okay, if not, you'll be struggling with it. If this design were to be, oh yes, that we started from scratch to design it, I think we would have been done with the entire page. But for the fact that we had to be, and I did not even take into consideration to check the fact that we would have had those modes. So this was the only section that was being marked. So that's why that is the only section and that I've changed. Okay. This was not being marked to follow. You can see we did not link it. If not, why changing to this should have done so. Just to be sure, text, not all libraries created in this file. Oh, this is not going to work. This will be page. Okay, so is it page? I sure no. Oh, so this is surface. Surface. Yeah, a GBK text should always come before, but in this situation whereby you are using an you are using, what do we call it? You are using a component. Okay, so you can't edit the instance of it. Otherwise, what would have been done here is I would have just switched the text down to the bottom. But in this case, there is always a way to manipulate it. So you can manipulate it using boolean. Okay, so you can actually have two images at the right and at the left. In most cases, when you create a component, that's what you always have. You always have it at the right and also at the left. So if you want it at the left section, then you on it. If you don't want it at the left section, then you off it. So using that with responsiveness is going to take it down to the bottom. Yeah, it's going to take it down to the bottom, depending on was the placement on the right or on the left. So if you want the left section of it, so you have to manually adjust that and tweak your design as you want to. But at the meantime, let's still finish up this. Let me take it to the text section. Heading, so text primary, body secondary, text secondary, text secondary. We use brand in surface, brand, no text. This is the text too. Text on action. This is surface. Surface, sometimes going to use white. Yeah. Then this going to be surface, it's reverse. And this is text, which is going to be an action. And our in field is going to be page. Such that if I now switch this to our hero section, sorry, our header and sorry, my bad. Our header and our distance should switch to yeah, should switch. But what did I use here? I was going to switch it back to light mode. What did I use here? Reverse, surface reverse. Surface reversed on the other side. Responsiveness, nope, mapped. Okay, so surface reversed. It was on light mode is this, and it was also this. No, so we are going to make it yeah, something like this. Such that if we switched it, can't have the same thing there. So if we switched it to dark mode, this will change to white, and my text is also supposed to change. So what did we use for text? Text on action. Text on action is neutral white. This should not also be neutral white. So this we are going to make it black. So if I switched it now to dark mode, yeah, that should work pretty well. And our header that was being should also work, but we did not apply it to the text inside of it. Text primary. Oh, we did. So that would mean these are not manually adjusted. Text primary. Yeah, which I don't think that is the problem. So the problem is this surface here. The surface that is carrying this. What did we put to the surface? Text reversed. No, so we did not give the surface anything. So the surface, I put it at this. But I don't want it. I want it to show. Surface on action. No. Surface. Let's check something. What was, how is our light mode as? What's the color of this? Okay, so we didn't really apply this to this. That's why it's not changing. Okay. All right. So the getaway for this class is when you are working with your variables, we'll, on our Saturday's class, we'll look at it much more. All right. So this is one of the topics as a designer you should really know. It's not about just designing. How feasible and flexible are you with your with making it responsive with variables mostly. To make this responsive with auto layout and just adjusting it manually can be done in less than 15 minutes or 30 minutes. That is when you are designing just a page. All right, but when you are designing so many pages, you will need this. It's going to help you with the adjustments. If you can remember, if I should just copy this section that has been into this, is going to adjust itself to this section. Whereas if we're doing it manually, if I take it from here, from the tablet, sorry, from the desktop to the tablet, I will now have to manually readjust it. But now looking at it, is now that I've adjusted it to whatever it's supposed to be, you can now see it has automatically readjusted itself to that particular screen size. So the more you practice on it, the more you are going to get it better. All right, so that will be the end of today's class. Another section, another class wants to use the link. So keep your question for tomorrow class. I'm going to get back to us before today is over. Sorry. All right.